Hello besties, I hope you're having an amazing day. My name's Savannah and welcome to or back to my channel. A month or so ago, I made a video talking about how I'm in the middle of over 20 series. Since then, I have finished a couple series and started a couple new series. So I thought it'd be fun to continue making videos like this as I keep working through all these book series that I'm in the middle of. So today, I think we're gonna read like probably 3 or 4 books. A good chunk of my November TBR actually has books from book series on it. I feel like I'm accomplishing 2 things at once. I'm working through all these book series and I'm working through my November TBR. Currently, I'm almost done with a book that's a part of a series, so I figured I would include it in this video. I'm currently listening to The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's the second book in the Inheritance Games trilogy, and I'm listening to it on Libby. And if you can see here, it's literally due in 1 day, so I need to finish the audiobook today. It's about this teenage girl, Avery, who lives with her half-sister, Libby, and Libby is supporting them both because Avery's mom has passed away and her dad walked out on her. So her life is very challenging, but her and Libby depend on and care for each other until out of nowhere, she's named the sole inheritor. Is that a word, inheritor? The sole inheritor of this billionaire's will. Obviously, this is shocking to Avery and it's shocking to everybody in this billionaire's family. The billionaire has 3 grandsons who Avery meets and they kind of go on a mission to uncover why everything was left to her. Obviously, there's lots of layers to this mystery. Lots of things get uncovered. They find out ways that Avery was tied to this billionaire that she had like no idea about. And everything kind of takes place in the form of like a riddle and a game because the billionaire who passed away loved always testing his children and his grandchildren and making them mentally work for things, basically. I've heard a lot of people say it gives Knives Out vibes, and I would agree with that. Anyways, I love a young adult mystery. I think I'm enjoying this one even more than I enjoyed the first book in the series, The Inheritance Games. I'm also really enjoying the audiobook. I think it's a great audiobook, and I love how as the mystery is unfolding, it took them to the Oregon coast, because I grew up in Oregon, so I've spent a lot of time at the Oregon coast, so I can really envision those scenes. But yeah, as I said, coming to the end of this audiobook, I can feel a big cliffhanger coming, and I can't wait to see what it is. So I think what I'm gonna do is make myself a matcha and then work on my reading journal for a little bit while I finish this audiobook together. And then we'll get to pick what series I'm starting next. Okay, I just finished the audiobook, and to be honest, it didn't leave off on as much of a cliffhanger as I thought it was going to. The mystery from this book is still pretty much unsolved. The book kind of ended more focused on the romance that's going on as a subplot than it did the mystery. But yeah, I'm definitely very excited to read the final gambit and see what happens in the 3rd book in this trilogy. I know there's like a lot of spin-offs from the Inheritance Games. See how much I love the final gambit. If I'm like obsessed with the final gambit and want more from the characters, I'll definitely read those other books. But I could also see myself just reading the 3rd book in the trilogy and then calling that good. We'll see. But yeah, overall that book was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. Before my camera died, I think I was just saying how much I really enjoyed The Hawthorne Legacy. I love Jennifer Lynn Barnes' writing. I find it so bingeable. Also very intrigued by the love triangle that's unfolding. I honestly don't know which team I'm on. I'm intrigued to see if Avery ends up with either of them. I think I know who she would end up with, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna give the Hawthorne Legacy 4 stars, but I'll let you guys know at the end of this video my final ratings for all of the books. But anyways, while I was just letting my camera charge for like 25 minutes, I decided to start another book in another series, obviously. And the book that I decided to continue is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. So if you guys have watched previous videos where I've like talked about what my favorite books are, you would know that the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy is one of my favorite series ever. I love those books so much. So it's super surprising that I haven't finished this trilogy yet. After I read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy last year, I read Caraval and then just didn't really find myself drawn to finish the rest of the trilogy. I think it is because I did kind of mess up and read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy before I read this trilogy. So if you haven't read either of them yet, I would really recommend going for this trilogy first. You'll completely understand everything that happens in the other trilogy. This one just really lays the framework for the other one, and I feel like everything would hit even harder in the other trilogy if you read this one first. Also, that's coming from someone who hasn't finished this trilogy yet though, so maybe take what I say with a grain of salt. Like I said, I read Caraval almost a whole year ago, and it's just so funny that it has taken like 11 months for me to be like back in the mood to finish this trilogy, but here we are and I'm excited. I think I just love reading this kind of fantasy book in like the fall, winter months, so maybe that's why I'm in the mood again. I've only read the prologue in the first chapter, so I really have no idea where this book is gonna go yet. All I know is that in the prologue, we got a snippet of Tella when she was younger, and she finds this magical deck of cards that her mom has, and the Prince of Hearts is on one of the cards, and they described what he looks like, obviously, and I was just like, oh, Jax, miss you, love you. So yeah, I'm excited to continue this book and get the full scope of Jack's whole backstory in this trilogy, even though he's like a side character. Anyways, I will update you when I have more thoughts on Legendary.
No questions asked, I'm just hanging around. I sit right here, I'm just spending my time. Sometimes you laugh when I cry. Sometimes I ask myself why. There's not a lot to do.
Okay, it is time for a midway update because I think I'm about 50% through Legendary. I just got to night 3 of Caraval, and I love how in this book you get to see the actual like letters and notes and things and little mixed media bits, and how like every night of Caraval is broken up like this. But yeah, we're clearly on to night 3 of Caraval. The premise is after finishing Caraval in the first book, Legendary, the guy who puts on these games, decides to do another week of Caraval, even though normally it only comes around once a year. He's like only giving the performers a few days in between. And in the second book, we're going through Caraval again, except for we're in Tella's perspective rather than Scarlett's perspective. And I hate to say it because, like Scarlett, I am a responsible, protective older sister, but I do think I like Tella's perspective a little bit more. It's just a little bit more fun and fast-paced and like maybe a little bit more unpredictable than Scarlett's was. Yeah, Tella wants to play in Caraval again because she has hopes to find out where their mother went, and she has been receiving these notes that if she can find out Legendary's real name, she'll be able to find out where her mom is. But yeah, I think because we're going through the Caraval games again, this book is really not giving middle book syndrome to me at all. Like, I'm very engaged, very interested. I don't feel like it's just gonna connect the first book to the last book. I think this could like stand alone by itself, which is always really awesome for a middle book in a trilogy. And yeah, so far Jax is fully the villain in this one, but it's kind of fun reading this, knowing what I know about him in Once Upon a Broken Heart, because like I'm incapable of seeing him as the villain after reading those other books. Let's keep reading, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
But I'd like to be near you. Maybe we're living a lie. Sometimes I ask myself why.
Okay, we have made it to the epilogue. And then I noticed that this book has like bonus material. So there's the last chapter and then the epilogue, and then after the acknowledgements, there's the last chapter and the epilogue annotated. Oh, and there's a playlist. That's cool. Anyways, I'm gonna kind of like skim over the last chapter again to see Stephanie Garber's annotations, and then I'll read the epilogue with the annotations.
I'm watching you breathe in your sleep. I'm thinking you mean so much to me. Sometimes it feels like it's over. Sometimes it feels like you're over me.
Stop, this annotation says, for those of you who are curious, there will be more of Jax in finale. I love writing him. I probably love writing him much more than I should. She clearly loves writing him because she wrote 3 more books about him after these ones. Okay, that was fun. It basically just talked about all the different endings that she had come up with and why she chose what she chose. So that was fun to read. Now let's read the epilogue. I totally forgot that it was Stella's birthday. Oh my god, how fun. Okay, Stephanie Garber knows how to write a second book in a series. She ate with Legendary and she absolutely devoured with The Ballad of Never After. Yeah, like I just said, that was so much fun. I wasn't super surprised with who Legendary was, but I was kind of surprised by the next twist at the end. I'm very intrigued to see what happens in finale, because I feel like they're not going to do another set of Caraval games because I feel like that'd be very redundant. Also, I actually don't know what happens in that book, so we'll have to see. I think this book is going to be another 4-star for this video. I really want to jump into finale, but I feel like I don't want this video to be boring. I want to read like multiple different series. Let's take a look at our other options. Okay, I actually decided what I'm reading after thinking about it for like one more second, but I'm gonna walk you guys through my thought process. Like you know, I am gonna wait to read finale. The other series that's on my November TBR is Throne of Glass, and I do not feel like doing that right now. So our third and last option for a series that's on my November TBR is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I'm so excited to read this one, but I need to decide which copy of the book I want to read. If I want to read the UK version or the US version. Let's take a look. Honestly, I have no good reason for having 2 copies of this book because it's not even like the first book in this series. It was one of my most favorite books ever. Obviously, I really liked it because I want to continue the series, but I guess when this book came out, I ordered the UK version because, I mean, it's gorgeous and I loved it. But then when I saw the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, I was like, I should get this one so that it matches the first in the series. So that's how I ended up with 2. Maybe I should read the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition if it has bonus content. Does this have bonus content or is it just exclusive because of the cover? These cool pages. But then the UK version looks like, actually it's really not very floppy. It's kind of stiff, but I like how tall the pages are. Which do we think is going to be a better reading experience? Wait, I'm so confused how these have the same number of pages. I think I'm going to choose this one. Okay, I'm about to start Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I, for some reason, feel like I need to look up a refresh of what happened in the first book. I remember the big plot points and like the big twists, but how exactly did it end? I'm gonna look it up right now. Hello guys, it is now a couple days later and I'm about 75% through Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I'm on the 9th of October, which is page 265. So it is definitely time for a little update. Sorry, I had to think about what I could say that wouldn't spoil a big part of book one. So Emily and Wendell are back at Cambridge and they have this new mission / mystery that they want to uncover. But the department head of the Dryadology or the Fairy Studies department wants to fire them for Wendell's reporting of misinformation. On top of the mystery that they have to uncover, they also have to deal with that scenario. But yeah, basically fairies start attacking Cambridge and Emily's getting visited by this like strange ribbon fairy. So the mission to figure that out takes them to the Swiss Alps. We have a new character in this book who is Emily's niece, Ariadne, I think is how you say her name. So she comes with them to the Swiss Alps, and so does the department head that wants to fire them. Characters, especially Emily and Wendell, are just so funny and so charming in the funniest, most unintentional ways. For example, in the 4th of October chapter, Wendell has like fallen ill and Emily says, "Is there anything I can do?" And he said, "Say that you'll marry me." That made me laugh. Anyways, I've really reached the climax of the story. As I said, Wendell is ill, so Emily kind of has to solve this mystery and go on this adventure by herself, except for Ariadne is there, so she weasels her way into joining Emily. See how much of it gets resolved in these next like 75 pages, because I know there will be a third book in the series. I'm very curious to see where this story is going to end off and then where like the next story is going to pick up. I think there's like a little glimpse of the third book at the end of this one. Yeah, read on for a preview of Heather Fawcett's new novel, Emily Wilde's Compendium? Is that how you say that? Compendium of Lost Tales. Okay, I'll let you guys know my final thoughts on this book once I finish it. And then I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll do a fourth book in this video. I feel like we should read Finale and finish off the Caraval trilogy. But first, let's finish this one. Okay, it's a little while later and I have gotten ready, clearly, and finished Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I really like how it finished off and set us up for the next book. I think I'm once again gonna land on a 4-star for this book. This is just a video of solid 4-star reads. Some things that I enjoyed about the sequel are it felt a little bit faster paced than the first book in the series, which I enjoyed. It's still very cozy and not like super high stakes, but it did feel faster than the first. I also love how when you're reading, you get bits of foreshadowing because this book is written as Emily's journal, so our narrator knows what has happened when she's writing about it and we're reading it. So you kind of get fun little bits of foreshadowing, which I enjoyed. And one page that I bookmarked right here, another sweet thing that Wendell said. Okay, my camera battery just died, so I'm going back to my roots and using my phone camera to read you guys this quote really quickly. Basically, Wendell said, "In order to be surprised, I could not have known already that you are capable of anything." Loved that quote. And I love how it showed that Wendell just like thinks the world of Emily. Anyways, I will see you guys when I pick up Finale, the last book in the Caraval trilogy. Hi guys, I have now actually already finished Finale. I ended up reading this book so fast. I literally read it in one day. So my apologies for the lack of like mid-book updates, but I'm gonna tell you everything I thought about it now. I decided to rate this book a 4-star as well. I think I gave every single book in this series 4 stars. Overall, just a solid 4-star series for me. I obviously don't love it as much as I love the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy because that's like a 10-star series for me. And To be entirely honest with you guys, my favorite parts of Legendary and Finale were all the parts that had Jax in them, and I wonder if those would have been my favorite parts if I hadn't already read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. These books are such fever dreams. As I said, the first two take place during Caraval, and then this last one follows Tella trying to, well, there's several things going on. Tella's trying to find their mom. Things are unfolding with Dante. There's things going on with the Fates as well, because if you don't already know, Jax is one of the Fates, and the Fates are like kind of evil, so they're kind of getting unleashed on the world. There's a few little plot lines going on. The first book, like I previously said, is in Scarlett's point of view, the second one is in Tella's point of view, and then this one has both of their point of views, so that was kind of fun. Stephanie Garber is so good at naming characters to me. Like, I feel like everybody just fits their names so well in this series. And yeah, overall, so glad that I finally got around to finishing this trilogy. So glad to take a series off of my list. I needed to get out my reading journal so that I can see how many series I have left now. I know when I did the first episode of this series, I had 20 series I was in the middle of, I think. And since then, I've finished Six of Crows, Caraval, got up to date with Emily Wilde. Yeah, I think those are all the ones that I finished. And I started a couple of new series. I've censored Beartown and the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. So now I have 23 series in my journal, but up to date on 9 of them. So technically I'm in the middle of 14 series now. Not too bad. Slowly but surely we are getting through these series. Read a lot of solid books in today's video. I think I rated every single one of them 4 stars. Yeah. The Hawthorne Legacy was 4 stars. Legendary was 4 stars, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands was 4 stars, and Finale was 4 stars. I can't complain there. But yeah, with all that being said, that is going to conclude today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me continue series that I'm reading right now. I'll definitely keep these type of videos coming because, I mean, there's 14 more series that we need to get through. And I want to start even more. I really want to start binding 13. Anyways, that is besides the point. I hope you guys liked watching today's video, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye!